And I have my mat set up right here. That way I can be like kind of in front right here. So that way when I show the exercises, everybody can see it. So awesome. Well, you kind of have the idea because you looked it up. So I'm guessing you kind of looked at a couple different things. But we're really going to work on just like our active range of motion, active control, and we're going to get into it. So I'm going to progress this a little bit from the class like I did last week. So we're going to do a couple different things, but we're still going to hit hips, shoulders, spine. That's still the main focus of everything. And I mean, that's, like I said, I see when you clear those things up, a lot of other issues go along with it. And knees are a great example. Where you got knee issues, you get those hips stronger, feels a lot better. All right, so let's get into it. So if at any point, hey B, just watch out. You're good, you're good. Yeah, huh? I just want to make sure that you can see them. But so we're gonna start on hands and knees, and for you, because you kind of told me what's going on, if anything like hurts when you're on the hands and knees, just let me know. We can either add more cushion or I can give you a modification to it. That's perfectly fine. I got modifications for everything. So we're going to start on the hands and knees though, because through these next like 4 weeks, all the CARs we're going to do, all the controlled articular rotations. So controlled articular rotation is basically a big joint circle. And we're going to do all of that on the hands and knees for the next, this is week 2. So for the next 2 weeks after this, it's going to be all that way. And then we're going to switch up how we're doing those as well, because a lot of times the different base positions of how we do our CARs can challenge them in a little different ways. So what this is going to look like, we're going to be on our hands and knees. Right here, we're making sure keep that core nice and tight. We're going to do 3 reps each side. You can just watch me first, and then I'll cue it out all together. But this knee is going to come up to the chest. Then we're going to bring that knee out to the side, and then I'm going to say lift that ankle high. We're going to go big circle all the way around, pulling it down. Then reversing it up, rotate out, up to the elbow, and back down. Okay? So the goal with these is every rep, I don't expect them to be perfect, but every rep trying to get better, right? We want to try to think about as much control, and the faster we go through that, the less control we have. If we're using momentum, a lot of times it's taking out that muscular activation that we're really looking for, right? So go ahead and everybody on the hands and knees. If at any point your wrists start hurting, just come up, shake it out, back into it. So let's start left leg first. Bring that knee to your chest and just hold right there. So I like to give everybody a chance to just hold right here. Trying to keep that core tight, flatten this out just a little bit. There you go. Really feel that hip flexor. Now bring that knee out to the outside. Try to feel that glute. Try not to shift those hips. Lift that ankle high to the sky. Big rotation all the way around, pulling it down. Yep. Just keep that leg bench, you know. Yep, just like that. You're going to pull it down. And then you're going to reverse it, kick it straight up, rotate out. Trying to pull that knee up to the elbow as much as you can and back down. Just trying to get all that work there in that hip. There we go. Rep number 2. Bring that knee to your chest, nice and controlled. Knee comes to the outside. Good. Try to lift that ankle high. So pause right here. Let's try to think about lifting here, creating an internal rotation, coming back around, pulling it down, then reversing it, coming straight up. Here, rotate out, pulling it around. Perfect. Nice and controlled. I like using these in the beginning just to help, 1, build some awareness around what the muscles we're going to be working, and 2, just to, that's like a warm-up, you know, getting everything fired up. Let's go last rep on this side. Bring the knee to your chest, knee to the outside, big ankle lift, big rotation all the way around, pulling it down. Good, and reverse it. Kick it up, rotate out, pull it back around, and down. Good. Deanna, only thing I'm going to say for you, just make sure to keep those, keep your arms straight. The straighter you keep your arms as we go through this, the more tension you're going to have in your core, the less you're going to be able to shift, because you're not going to allow that tabletop to tip over that one side. All right, so let's go to the other side. So bring that knee to your chest. Hold right there. Bring that knee out. Find that glute, nice and slow. Big ankle lift all the way around. Bring that knee down, good. And then kick it back, squeeze that butt, rotate that knee out. Good, pull that knee up to the elbow. Good, back down, perfect. There you go. Yeah, if you need to shake the wrists out, that's completely fine. And then let's go rep number 2, knee to chest. Good, knee comes out. Good, big ankle lift all the way around. Bringing it down. Good, then reverse it straight up. Rotate out, pull that knee to elbow. Good, and down. Nice, we got one more on this side. Knee to chest, yep, go ahead and work it all the way around. Pulling it down, nice and controlled. There you go. Then reversing it, rotating out. This is the perfect day to wash my car, was yesterday, huh? Raining like crazy out there right now. All right, and rest. Let those wrists shake out a little bit. So we're gonna get into some segmented cat-cows, just like we did last week, trying to get better at them every week. So that segmented cat-cow, what it is, so if you know it, been to yoga before, cat-cow is that pretty standard yoga move. A lot of times when people do this, they just pretty much bend from the same spot that they can bend from every time. And the way our spines work is if we don't have control, individual control up and down that spine, we get these muscles that kind of clump these vertebrae together where they don't move individually from that spot. And what that can do is it can overload certain areas and not move other areas, so that then you get this really imbalanced movement through the spine, and we end up overloading those certain areas that are taking all the movement, and that can lead to a lot of injury. So really focus on individualizing as much as you can. I don't expect it to be perfect, but just trying to focus as much as you can into this. So starting with the hips, every single time you're gonna think about extending first, and we're gonna work one vertebrae at a time all the way up. And then same thing, tucking from the bottom, from the hips first. Tuck, 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 tuck. So notice I'm keeping pressure here as I'm trying to tuck through, and then once I get all the way up, I'm there, then trying to hold this position. Abs are nice and tight right here, extending all the way up, okay? So just trying to, like I said, slow it down, just try to work that spine. I'm gonna let you guys kind of do about 5 reps on your own, and I wanna come around and kind of help everyone out as we go through this. I got some good control sometimes. So let's start into that extension. I want you to give yourself about 3 breaths in each position, each side of the position. So working with that extension first, so go ahead and hold right there. So you're gonna start the other way now, so go ahead and start into the tuck, so pause. So you started moving from here first. So drop everything back down. And I want you to think about starting down here. So you're starting down here, tucking, 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 tucking. And then one vertebrae at a time, keep trying to round as much as you can. One vertebrae at a time, keep pulling those abs in. One vertebrae at a time, keep getting as round as you can. Then hold that top position for 3 breaths. And then you're gonna go the other way, starting down here. Extend, extend. Pause, don't move from here. Try to move from here. There you go, you feel the little difference? It's a very slight difference, but it actually makes a huge difference when we are able to control that starting with the hips. There you go, let's start rounding from here. There you go, tuck, 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 tuck. Good, all the way up. Hold right there. And then extend back the other way, starting with those hips. Stay tight here the whole time until you feel it work all the way up into there. Good. There we go. See these hips move, Mike. Give me some extension once you get. There you go. One vertebrae at a time. Good, 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 good. Perfect. Pause, Jen. So come back up. So did you notice what you did first though? You tucked your chin first. So if ever we do this, if our first move is ever this first, what's gonna happen is all of this is gonna move first. Right. So we wanna pretty much stay up and moving here until we get all the way here. And then we tuck our chin and we move our hips the other way. So come back up. Why don't you go the other way? So starting here, hold. Now starting down here, one at a time. Extend, extend. One at a time. There you go, that's better. Nice and slow. Give about 1 more rep each way. Good. And then while we're here, we're going to add some shoulder blade cars after these cat-cows, or scap cars. There we go, and relax. Good. So we're going to work our shoulder blades a little bit today with this. So scap cars, probably one of the more challenging ranges of motion to learn how to control, because most people just don't use their shoulder blades appropriately, and when we don't use our shoulder blades appropriately, we don't use our shoulders right, and it tends to lead to bad posture and all that fun stuff. So once you just get really slow and controlled with these, think about kind of like a square. If you want to think about a circle, that's okay too. Square with the shoulder blades. So you're going to think about everything staying tight here, so my hips aren't dropping at all. So keep it neutral. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're going to elevate towards the ears. We're going to drive those shoulder blades away from each other, and then we're trying to put those shoulders in our back pocket. We're doing the same thing. Squeeze, up, push, down. So we're going to do 4 each direction. We're going to do this together. And the main thing I want you to think about is from the shoulder blades down, it's really easy when we're going down here to like start throwing this in here as we're doing this and basically just make it a cat-cow. But I don't want any of that lower stuff to be moving. I want it all to be in those shoulder blades, really focusing on that control there, okay? So go ahead and let's go down those hands and knees first. You guys about to run in the rain? I hear you. Dedicated. Dedicated. I ain't about that life. All right, so let's go. Holding right there. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Don't let them shrug, though. Just squeeze. Now shrug them up to your shoulders. Feel those traps. Feel everything move up to the top. Good. Hold right there. Now think about spreading those shoulder blades away as you push through the floor, so that chest rises. Trying to squeeze. Come up this way. There you go. Hold right there. So you should start feeling those muscles underneath your armpits working. So come up, come up, come up, come up. There you go. Start feeling the muscles underneath here working as you do that. And now pull those shoulder blades in your back pocket. Squeeze those lats. Good. And then pinch those shoulder blades together. Good. Bring the shoulders to the ears. Good. Trying to hit every edge of this box through here with these shoulder blades. Push them through the ground. And then pull them back down to the hips. Good. Pinch it together. Drop, 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 drop. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Pinch, pinch. Then bring them together this way. Bring. Keep pinching, keep pinching, keep pinching. There you go. Keep pinching. Push them up to the shoulders. Push them away. There you go. Got to work on that retraction. Pull them down. That's why these traps are so lit up. One more time. Pinch them together. Bring them up to the top. Drive them away. Pull them down to the hips. Good. Pinch them together. But now pause here. Now you're going to think about going the other direction. So pinch them together, pull them towards your hips. Keep them pinched as you pull them towards your hips too. And then drive them away. So like pushing your shoulder blades away from each other, pushing through the ground, and then bring them up towards your ears. And then pinch them together at the top. Yep. Pull them down towards your shoulder blade or towards your hips. There you go, Mike. That looks good. And then drive them away. Pull them up to the shoulders. Good. 2 more. Pinch them together. Good. Pinch, 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 pinch. Think about dropping that. There you go. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Right here. We're going to think about getting these as close together as we can. And then pull them down. Can't feel them? No. That's all right. The more you do it, the better they get. There you go. Last rep. Bring them up to the top. Push away. Pull them down. Pinch them together. Good. And relax. All right. So we're going to get into our shoulder cars. We're not going to do these on the hands and knees today. We're actually going to do these just sitting on our legs. So, because we're going to add some adduction to these. Okay. So adduction is coming back in towards our body. And we can't usually do that when we're on the ground, right, or on our stomachs. So you can either sit like this if this is really uncomfortable, if your quads are too tight. You can stay up tall, whichever one fits better for you. So here, I want you to have one hand on your torso because I want you to be mindful that you're not rotating, okay? So I don't want any rotation right here. So we're gonna take the first hand and we're gonna take this arm across our body, palm up here. So it's a little different than how we've been doing them. Palm up here. As you get to that point where you can't go much further and you're gonna notice it's gonna start coming around, we're gonna start coming around as we rotate that thumb down and away, keeping that shoulder blade down, rotating all the way around, knuckles down by the hip, then reversing that, straight back, rotate open. Make sure you rotate all the way open before we come back around, and keep rotating that palm to the ceiling all the way here, okay? What's up? All right, let's start on that left side. Yep, so I'll do these first ones with you guys. So let's go palm across, palm up. So it goes this way, lifting up as high as we can, keeping that shoulder down. You start feeling that shoulder rise, stop there, turn that thumb down and away, and then we're gonna keep rotating, keeping that shoulder, that strap down, rotate all the way around. Keep trying to squeeze more rotation out of the shoulder itself. Rotating all the way around, knuckles down by the hip. So go ahead and turn those knuckles in towards your hip. There you go, Chanel. Turn them all the way in, all the way in, all the way in. There you go, perfect. And then we're gonna go straight back, pull that shoulder blade back, rotate everything open first, pull that shoulder blade down, try to hold that shoulder blade down as you come all the way back up, around to the front, and down. Good. Just like that.
Forward as you're going up or down?
You can. That'll add some more protraction to it.
Yeah.
Just make sure if you're adding that to that, you're not getting into that trap too much.
Gotcha.
So a lot of times if we're coming up through here, we'll end up wanting to shrug to protract.
Yeah.
And you want to try to not let the trap do everything. All right, rep number 2. Palm comes up to the ceiling, cross that body, up. When you get to that point, turn that thumb down and away. Big reach. Yep, all the way around. Keep rotating all the way around. Keep rotating. Rotate here, rotate here. Restriction there. Did you have injury there too? Oh Lord, oh Lord. There you go, from right here, you're gonna pull it back. Rotate open. Good, and then coming back around. Well, this is gonna, a little crunchy through there, yeah. It's very common for that to be crunchy through there. Especially on my surgery side, I mean, the first 5 to 6 reps of anything shoulders is really crunchy. So, what's up, Megan? Let's go last rep on this side, up, cross, keep turning the thumb down and away, big rotation all the way around. Well, sounds like this class is gonna be just what you need. There we go, reaching it back, rotate open, pulling it up to the top. There you go, Deanna, that looks good. Yeah, there we go. Good, and down. Go ahead and switch sides. Good, so palm up, coming across that body, all the way across the body. When you hit that point, go ahead and start turning the thumb down and away. Big reach all the way around. Keep rotating in the shoulder, keep rotating, Jen. Rotate, 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 there you go. You want to try to get that rotation all the way through, not just there at the end. That way you're actually working it all the way through that range of motion. Now reach it back, rotate open. So you notice how it's hard to get open when you leave it here like this because you want to shrug. So make sure rotate that palm forward. There you go. Then you can actually stay tight back here. Come all the way back around, just like that. Got a little bit of a difference. There you go, rep number 2, coming across the body. Turn that thumb down and away. Big reach all the way around. Keep rotating through the whole range. Good. Good. Come back, lifting it back, open it up. Rotate all the way around to the front. I'm like paranoid now to make sure that it's still filming. There we go. Good. Last one, coming across. Good, rotate all the way through. Just keep trying to fight for that elbow. Keep that elbow straight. Come all the way around. A little uncomfortable sitting on the knees like that. That's all right. There you go. Good, all the way around. Down. Good. Coming back around to the top. Good, and rest. All right, so we're actually gonna start in a different base position today. So we're gonna go into a straddle today. So a lot of the stuff I actually wanna focus on today, we're gonna focus on some good glute work, but I also wanna get those hips in a little bit wider to get some adductor stuff. So a lot of times those adductors, especially with knee issues, will be lit up because they're doing a lot of work because the glutes aren't working right. So the straddle position is just like a kind of like a middle split. So whatever position you can get into that is your, we'll say, maximum stretch for now. And if this is really tough to get into, like if you're really tucked underneath and it's hard to get any movement or stretch through here, let me know because I can get a yoga block and you can sit on a yoga block and that actually allows you to sit a little bit better into that position. Yeah, I'll get you one. Don't worry, I was talking basically to you on that one, so I know what those hips are like. Get a couple yoga blocks. Peggy, what you doing? Oh yes, you want one? Yeah, so you'll sit on the block. Jen, I think you should be okay. You might actually be okay first. I'll just put it to the side and see what you can do. So for Mike, we already know he's got a little bit of a scoliosis on one side, so his spine moves one way and then comes back. And so what that does is it limits his ability to rotate, like have that pelvic disassociation and rotate the hips back and forth. So, yeah, so for him, yeah, no twerking. Yeah, he ain't gonna be in the club twerking anytime soon. But what we know is because of that, when we're in any position like this, he's gonna be tucked under. And if you're tucked under into these positions, it actually limits how much hamstring activation and hamstring stretch we're gonna get through this. And we want as much hamstring work through this as we can. So what we're trying to do here is really open those hamstrings up and connect the hamstrings and adductors together. Adductors are those legs here. This is great for lower back. We're actually going to be getting into that into the lower back pain part with this too. So as wide a stretch as you can get. If you need to space out a little bit more, that's fine. And I just want you to keep that chest tall. So just like we do in our 90-90s, we're keeping that chest tall and we're trying to lean forward with a tall spine as much as we can. So ideally, when you're in this, you're not just rounding forward to reach. So you're trying to stay tall as much as we can and then leaning forward into that. And we're just gonna breathe right here first. It should be a pretty intense stretch in the back of the legs. It's pretty common if you feel one side more than the other. And just breathe right here. We're gonna hold this stretch for about a minute and a half. Just trying to explore the feeling. A lot of times most people just don't give themselves enough time in the stretch for it to actually be effective. But don't worry, that's what I'm for. Make sure you're in the stretch long enough. Just keep breathing. We are going to add a stretch to this for the QL. So what I like doing, and you guys can do this whenever you feel ready for it. Sometimes it takes a little bit for these hamstrings to open up for us to feel comfortable doing this. We're going to take, so if I'm going to go to my right side first, so I'm going to take my right arm, I'm going to feed it through, and I'm going to take my left arm, and I'm going to reach over the top. I don't expect anybody else, I mean, if you can, great. I don't expect you to be able to get to that foot and be able to rotate all the way through. Okay, so I just want you to get that big side body stretch through there and allow gravity to just take that down. Try to just breathe into it. Every exhale, let your body sink into it a little bit more. Yep, I'm gonna stay right here too because this feels kind of good. My legs are tight today. Just breathing into that. I also like adding a little hip groove in there where I'm just squeezing each butt cheek. Just trying to groove that stretch out a little bit. There you go. I think you can go a little bit wider, Jim. There we go. Just keep breathing into that. Does it feel okay? Yep. So go ahead and rotate to the other side. Feed that other arm through, reach to that other side. This one's great for lower back pain too, because this is helping stretch that muscle called our QL. It's a big spine supporter muscle in our lower back. And it gets really tight when we sit all day. Or if you have scoliosis, pulling to one side and making it extra tight. What's up, Aida? Good, how are you doing? There you go, just breathe into that. Let that arm kind of droop over the top. Let it hang. Feeling that stretch? And just keep breathing into it and relax, but we're gonna stay in the stretch. I wanna point something out too real quick, because I love, honestly, having a class with someone who's recovering from some stuff, because it's a really great chance for you to see some imbalances from a different way, right? So just from you sitting here, staying in that stretch, I want you to notice the difference in your feet position. If you notice, this right side where you've had all the problems, this foot is pretty much turned all the way in, right? So that tells me immediately that there's a glute stability problem there, because your body's want is to turn everything in to find that stability through that TFL, which is this muscle in the front right here. So we're actually going to do an activation drill in this. This is going to be probably extra tough on that right side, but what we're going to do here is we're going to stay in this stretch, stay up as tall as you can, and we're going to think about rotating from the hips, and we're going to try to rotate those pinky toes back as much as we can. So we're trying to squeeze the legs straight, rotate those pinky toes back, trying to feel the glutes. Yep, rotate, rotate. And we're gonna hold right there. Finding that tension in the hips. And then nice and controlled, we're gonna rotate towards the front. Yep. And then rotate back. Good. Notice how limited that side is right there, because that glute doesn't want to activate to get that external rotation going on. Yep. Bring it back in. There we go. It's crazy, right? Leg shaking, good. That means you're doing it right. Rotate back. We want it to be shaking. Am I still playing? Good. Rotate in. Good, one more. Hold that, rotate out. Good, rotate in. Good, and relax. So now all we're gonna do here is we're just gonna slide one foot forward. We'll bring our right foot forward. We're gonna take our left leg in like a figure four. The first thing we're gonna do here is we're just gonna get a nice stretch into this hamstring, just trying to go straight forward. Same thing, keep that spine long. I want you to reach both hands to that foot. Right here. But we're not just gonna hold this stretch. We're actually gonna do some activation here as well. So I want you to think about pulling on this foot if you can reach it, and then I want you to squeeze your quad. So try to activate that quad, squeeze that quad, and you should notice an increase in that stretch in your hamstring when you do it. For you should know you might have some trouble squeezing that quad or holding that squeeze, and that's completely fine. Just squeeze it as much as you can, and then give it a relax, and then squeeze, and then relax, and squeeze one more time, and relax. Good. So now, if you have a yoga block, Jen, I'm gonna get you one. I think you can take it out from underneath you. So you're gonna set that yoga block on the outside of your foot. We're gonna work some hip flexion today. That look tough out there, DJ. You're breathing hard. You're not out of shape, you're just a different shape. All right, so way to make this harder, stay up as tall as you can. Way to make this easier, lean back a little bit. I don't care which one you do, but what I don't want is for you to create momentum to make this happen, okay? So staying tall, I'll let you play with your foot position. Sometimes I do this foot flex, sometimes I do this foot pointed. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day, really. But we're gonna try to lift up and over the yoga block. So we're gonna squeeze that quad, we're gonna lift, we're gonna go over, and we're gonna set it down. Whew. Might cramp up immediately like I just did. Fighting it off. Then we're gonna squeeze it again, up, over, down. There you go, just like that. I want you to get really good off about flexing that foot. For you, I want you to flex the foot to create some more tension all the way up that chain. And then you're gonna lift, over, down. Good, lift, over, down. Cramping up in that quad? Just weak? There you go. And if you want, you don't even have to go over the yoga block. You can just lift it straight up and down if you want. Just getting that activation. We're gonna do 5 reps right here. So up and over, down, up, over, down, up, over, down, up, over, down. Good. Nice. Then, instead of just switching to our other side, how I want you guys to switch to the next side is I want you to pull this leg up and in, set it down without, there you go, without trying to shift too much, and then you're gonna lift up, put it back out. Same thing, just reach with both hands. Just get a little hamstring stretch first. Good. And then let's give that quad, we're gonna give that quad about 3 to 4 squeezes. Squeeze that quad nice and tight. Find that quad activation to get the hamstring going. And also want you to notice the difference from one side to the other about what happens when you squeeze your quad. So for me, for example, my right side, when I squeeze my quad, I get a nice hamstring stretch. However, when I do this on my left side, I actually get more stretch almost down into the calf. And that's just because I think my calf is the more limiting factor on this side. And relax. Squeeze again. Relax. Last one, squeeze again. And relax. Good, right there. All right, set that yoga block out to the side if you want to make it hard. There we go. Find that whatever position you need to be in to make this happen. Flex that foot nice and tight. Up, over, down. There you go. Up, over, down. See ya. Up, over, down. Up, over, down. 2. Yep, up, over, down. Up, over, down. 3. Just keep fighting for that quad activation. Up, over, down. Up, over, down. Up, over, down. Up, over, down. Let's go one more. Up, over, down. Up, over, down. Good. Then I want you to pull this leg into a butterfly stretch. We're just going to get into that butterfly stretch right here. This is also one of those ones that I doubt anyone's will look like mine, or at least most people won't. To be honest with you, I don't even feel a stretch when I do this anymore, so I do frog. Yeah, I don't feel any stretch. I usually have to elevate my feet on a yoga block, so it actually creates some like drop in there, but yeah, I know.
You ever do leg cradles?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I can like almost put my head over there. Yeah. So just breathe into that. I want you to think about your pelvis too. Try to keep that pelvis extended. Just find where you can get that best stretch in here. Because we're actually going to do some isometric stuff here. We're thinking about pushing those knees down into the ground. Just trying to squeeze our butt to push those knees away. Holding that tension right there. Keep holding it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax that. Then you're gonna go again, pushing those knees down, squeezing that butt. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that. Last one, push the knees down, squeeze the butt. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Nice. All right. Last one of these on the hips. We're going to lay on our back. So we're going to got to get some internal rotation in. Internal rotation is one of the building blocks of both our hips and our shoulders. If we don't have good internal rotation, a lot of times it limits everything else outside of internal rotation. So the first one we're going to do here, this little stretch we're going to do first, we're going to do a hip sleeper stretch. So this one will be nice, just nice relaxing stretch. You know, I got to give you guys some relaxing stretches in here. I can't just be torturing you the whole time. So laying on our back, whatever leg it goes over top. So I'm going to stretch my left leg first, my right leg goes on top, and I'm going to let my hips drop towards that right side. So when I do this, the weight of my right leg is on top of my left leg, and I'm getting that nice stretch through here. You're just going to breathe into that stretch right there. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Let that pelvis rotate. Yep, just like that. Good. If you can't find the stretch, let me know. I can adjust you a little bit. Good, just breathe into that. Feel okay, Chanel? How you doing, Deanna? Feel good? Sort of. Good answer. Because you know, if you say yes, it feels good, then I got to adjust you to where it doesn't feel great. Should be comfortably uncomfortable. How you doing, Jen? Feel a stretch? Good. Yeah. You look all pretzeled up over here. There you go. That looks good, Mike. His hips look like they're getting better. You been feeling pretty good? Been feeling good?
Yeah.
Good. Just keep breathing into it.
All that animal flow stuff.
I know. I wouldn't doubt it. Go ahead, switch sides. Just taking that in as much as you need to. Good. Here we go. Just keep breathing, keep breathing. Good. All right, I want both legs, feet on the floor, a little bit wider here. And what you're going to do is you're going to just do 4 back and forth. So we're going to drop one leg in. It's kind of like those transfers like we did last week, but we're laying on our back. And I want you to be nice and active where I'm trying to take this leg to the floor and then getting those muscles working, going the other way. Just shaking those hips out a little bit before we get into the last part of the hip work. Good, rocking back and forth. Yep, just like that. Just take it into that stretch each time. There you go. There you go, looks good. Once you get done with those, you're going to grab your yoga block. And you're going to squeeze it between your knees, and you're going to pull your knees up to 90 degrees, just like Jen, just like that. Make sure to flex those feet. We've done these before. So what we're going to do here is we're trying to work the internal rotation actively now. So you're going to think about peeling the ankles away from each other, squeezing those hips, Find that maximum range of motion you got here, squeeze. Keep trying to crush that yoga block, peeling those ankles away. Yep, squeeze, 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 squeeze. There you go. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep holding, keep holding, keep holding. Squeeze, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back into the middle. Take a breath, going right back into it again. And rotate. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those hips. Squeeze that yoga block. Don't let me take your yoga block. I'm going to try to take them. Don't let me take it. Don't let me take it. Good. Squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back in. Adjust this just a little bit. So there you go, right there. And then last one of these, and peel them away. Good. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Crush that yoga block. Crush the yoga block. Good. Squeeze. Peel those ankles away. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down and down. Good. Take a breath for a second. We're actually going to be on the hands and knees for one more thing today. So this is one I was kind of thinking about earlier. We're going to try it. This is a little bit more, a little tougher. But it's going to combine some of that lower and upper together. So we have tissue lines called our spiral lines, things that connect basically our right side to our left side and our left side to our right side, okay? So I like working those things together. So what we're going to do here, on the hands and knees, one leg is going to be out to the side like we're doing an adductor stretch. So we're not really doing much with this leg, but what we are going to do is work some rotation through our spine here. This is just basically creating a block so that I'm not over-rotating with my hips. From here, one hand is going to go on my head, and I'm going to rotate to the opposite side. Okay? We're going to hold that rotation. We're going to do 3 each side, and then we're going to really hit those shoulders today. So out to the side, find that nice stretch in that inner thigh. Make sure that foot is nice and flat. Doesn't really matter which side you start with. We're going to do both sides, so just make sure you're not kicking the person next to you. Yep. So if your right leg is out, know you're going to go left hand on your head. So we're going to rotate the opposite way of the stretch leg. So go ahead and try to rotate that elbow as much as you can. Rotate that T-spine. Yep, just like that. So get that one leg out to the side. And then this hand will go on the head. Say what? Yep, just like that. And then you're trying to rotate this way. See how she's rotating that way? Keep holding. Knees. And relax. So if this one isn't feeling great, what you can do is I want you to just go right here. And you're just going to work on rotating here, like this. Yes. So let's go again, hand on the head. And rotate. Good. Hold right there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. Good. Right back up. Number 3. And lift. Good. Rotate. 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch. There we go. Good. And go ahead and rotate. Hold that top position. Hold, hold, hold. Squeeze that elbow high. Squeeze that elbow high. There you go. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. Good. Go again. Rep number 2. Rotate. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. Good. Last one. Rotate. Get all in that T-spine. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down and relax. Good. All right. Take a breath for a second. We're going to be laying down on our side for the next one. I know everybody's favorite right here. So laying down on the side, we're going to do a a shoulder sleeper stretch now. It's pretty much the same concept as the hip sleeper, but we're just doing internal rotation for the shoulder. So definitely use your yoga block as a little bit of a pillow. I want you to be able to relax your neck. So we're going to be laying on our side. We're going to start making sure that shoulder blade is tucked underneath us. This elbow is right below our shoulder. I don't want it above the shoulder, either right at or right below. And what you're going to do here is you're just going to take your other hand and we're going to pull this shoulder into internal rotation right here. And we're just going to hold this stretch. This is really good if you have shoulder issues. This helps to hit some of that capsular tissue. This is one of the first exercises that I was that I had to do for my rehab after my surgery, because it helps to get those deeper capsular tissues. And when they do a capsular tightening on your shoulder, you have to make sure you address those tissues. Yep. Make sure your shoulder is not up here like this. So yeah, you want to tuck that shoulder down. Yep. You want to keep it out of that ear. If you can hear your trap screaming, your shoulder's too high. And then make sure when you're pushing into it, see how you're pushing away? I want you to actually pull it in towards you. So bring this up a little bit higher and pull it in towards you. Feel the difference there? There you go, just like that. That's great. Good. So remember, thinking about pulling it in. So bring this up a little bit higher here. But yeah, there you go. And then try to tuck this down just a little more. There you go. Good. Looks good. That thing is tight. Good gracious. Yeah. And just breathe into the stretch. Every exhale, I want you trying to just let gravity do its thing. Push that thing down a little bit more. So we're going to try to really open up those deeper shoulder muscles with this. Good. So I don't want you to do this yet, but I'm going to kind of tell you what we're going to do next, okay? So we're going to create some activation here. Just like we do in our hip pails and rails, we're going to do some activation here too. So in this stretch, I'm going to think about, I'm trying to actively pull my hand closer to the floor using all the muscles that we're stretching. So I'm going to say activate, start trying to pull it away from that top hand. You're going to lift your top hand off of there, and we're going to hold that for a 10 count, okay? Just like that. So you're going to be coming down this way, and you're going to try to actively get this to the floor just that way. Like, whoop. Yep, just like that. Trying to use those muscles to get that thing a little bit lower. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that. Let's go one more time. Push it in a little bit deeper in that stretch if you can. Activate at the end range of that stretch. Lift that top hand. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax there. Hand on, stretch for another about 30 seconds. Just stay in there, and then we're going to switch sides. Just hold that stretch for another about 30 seconds. Let gravity do its thing. Good. All right, go ahead and switch sides. This is one of those stretches that if you have shoulder issues, doing this every night before you go to bed is going to help change a lot of that tension in the shoulder. So I want you to stack yourself up a little bit more on top of that shoulder, because what I'm looking for is the shoulder blade to be stopped by the ground. There you go. And then now you're going to remember, take that in towards the body, but don't let the elbow drop. There you go. Yep, just like that. Good. Tell you what, Deanna, your shoulder internal rotation is kind of crazy. It's quite the difference side to side here. There you go. Good, just breathing into that stretch. Give yourself some time. Just breathe, breathe, breathe. Good. All right, let's get our activation going on. So leave it in the stretch, and now start trying to get active in those muscles, pulling that hand off of that top hand, trying to get it closer to the floor. Hold right there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, hand back onto the top. Yep, getting back in that stretch, good. Let's go again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down and relax, staying in that stretch. Just breathe about another 30 seconds in the stretch. Good. And relax. All right, for our last little bit of shoulder work, we're going to go over on our stomachs. We land flat on our tummy. So we're going to start this one a little differently. So instead of starting at the top, we're actually going to start with our hands on our lower back here. So if you got tight shoulders, I want you to just let your elbows drop towards the ground. Yep. Let's feel that stretch a little bit in the shoulders. So we're going to basically do a swimmer, but we're going to break down different positionings here. So swimmer, it's going to be starting from our backs, and we're going to go here. We're going to lift it back. We're going to go here, open, all the way up, kind of like that shoulder car, and then back around here. Okay. But like I said, we're going to segment it out. So kind of listen for my cues, and we're going to keep doing each position a little differently. There you go. So we're starting with our hands on our back right there. And I want you to just squeeze your shoulder blades together and lift those elbows high. So you can so hands on the back. And what you're going to do here, oh, can you get it on your back? That's good right there. So all you're going to work on here is just squeezing your elbows together. Squeezing those shoulder blades back. It might be a little bit easier if you take this out and let that head drop. There you go. Squeeze, 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 let them drop. You're getting crazy over here. Put them back down. So we're just doing these first. So let them drop and then squeeze them back together. Squeeze. So we're just trying to work on feeling that tissue right there. Let them drop nice and slow. Squeeze again. Good, hold right there. Lift the hands off the back. Hold right there. Put the hands back down on the back. Good. So don't extend yet, we're just lifting. Squeeze them back, lift the hands, hold right there. Yep, set them down. Good. All right, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the elbows, lift the hands. Now extend the elbows. Good, hold right there. Bend the elbows back behind the back, but don't set them down. Hold right there. Extend back. Good. Good, put them back behind the back. There we go, extend out again. Good, all the way around to the top. Rotate all the way open to the top. Good, back around, don't let them touch. Back around, good. When you get to that position right there, Mike, yep, back around to the top. Good. Back around to the bottom. There we go. One more, back around to the top. Perfect, back around to the bottom. And set the hands back on that lower back. And relax. So for you, all I want you doing, it's kind of like you were, just starting down here, lifting from here. And then we're gonna try to be going up to the top if you can. You think you can handle that one? We'll see, we'll see. You want, here, let me get you this too. Well, you can have something to put your forehead on. Full service in here. All right, we're going to that same sequence again, okay? So we're going to start with the hands on the back. So lift the elbows, squeeze. Leave the hands down. Good, let the elbows drop. Good, squeeze again. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Let them drop. Good. Squeeze again. Hold right there. Lift the hands. Hold. Let the hands drop. Stay where you were, Jen. Hands on the back. There you go. And pull the shoulders, elbows back. Lift the hands. Good. Hold. Let them drop. There you go. Squeeze and lift the hands again. Now extend the elbows. Good. Elbows back down behind your back. Don't let them touch. Yep. Elbows out. Elbows back in. Good. Elbows out again. Good. Now we got 3 reps all the way up to the top. Rotate open. There you go. Rotate open, all the way around to the top. Good. Back around to the bottom. Don't touch at the top. Good. And then back around to the top. Good. We got 3 reps here. Good. Back around. And back around to the top again. 3rd one. Back to the bottom. Set the hands behind the back. And relax. Good. All right. Last one we're going to do, we're just going to groove these shoulders out a little bit more. We're going to go ahead on, actually we're going to sit up for this one. So we're here. This one's just, so kind of like we did with the hips, with our hips out wide and we were rotating our feet. Last one we're doing, we're just going to groove those shoulders out. So our arms going to be out to the side like this. And we're just going to think about rotating the thumbs down, rotating the thumbs back. And I want you to do this for about 10 reps. I'm going to let you kind of gauge your own speed. I just want you to get really connected to those muscles in the shoulders, trying to feel each position of those shoulders, and try to minimize how much, if you're just getting the wrist in there. If everything's feeling tight for you, what I want you to do, you can either go hands like kind of under your side or like under your butt and just tilt that head away. I just want you to get a nice stretch in your traps. And just hold each side for about 10 to 15 seconds. Yep, there you go. Keep trying to rotate the shoulders, try to keep your traps down. Your traps are trying to do everything over here. There we go. Grooving that stuff out. Very good, very good. Good, keep trying to rotate. Very good. Once you get 10 reps there, you guys are done. Good stuff. Thanks guys for coming out. Back again next week.